Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith. I've got another property for you. This one is one of the older ones on the website. I'm going through trying to clean house. This one is it's in Spokane County, Washington. I've lowered the price a couple times to $11,997, so just a hair under $12,000 for a place to build a house in Spokane County, or Spokane, the city of Spokane, Washington, also in Spokane County. The owner of this property is Stefan Rielson. It's right behind. Okay, so right here, Stefan has this property. If you're trying to get him on the phone, you could go open this up in your phone, click on the phone number there, and give him a call. It's like his property. He can answer questions. He's asking $11,997. It's in Spokane County, Washington, and so he's got some actual pictures of this property. Let's take a look at it. So here's there's street and the curb down here, and the property here, the tree, some bush, house on either side. House on either side of this thing. This property looks a little bit lower than the ones on the neighbors, so you probably want to do some fill, maybe put a ditch down one side of it, and just corral that water and make it go down the side of your property, or maybe this side or that side, or maybe both sides. It looks like these guys put some rocks along there further up. So here's what it looks like from the street. Here's the neighbors' houses. Nice looking houses. Looks like they're well kept. Good trees in the background. Here's a picture of it from above. From different angles. So it's here. It shows the hill here. So the water would come from this way, going down this way. So you get a civil engineer to look at the water flow and say, okay, let's put a ditch here, a pipe here, maybe a corrugated pipe of 1.5 foot or 2 foot or 4 foot, or one of those 4 foot cement ones or something, and run that down one side of the property, fill in the rest, build a house there, berm, just angle the water away. The right kind of engineer would know how to engineer this to get the water to go away. If you look at this property here, it looks like they kind of filled in the yard and up to here. So you just got to keep filling it in over to there and just bump it off to the neighbors, right? So here's neighbor houses, neighborhood, looking at the area. Some of it's newer, some of it's older. This is Spokane. There's downtown Spokane. It's 5 miles to downtown Spokane. So different points of view. All kinds of pictures and diagrams. You can go look at these by going back to the website. To get to this website, link in the description, it'll bring you back. Price, information, the basics. Okay, let's jump into the map. I got a map here. Looks like there's a pond over there. More houses going in over here. Neighborhoods filling in all over the place. This is Spokane. It's a really hot market. Like, prices are going nuts. Trades are going nuts. People are building, making it happen, and this price is sitting there. We've got directions to all kinds of stuff. Look, here's an old price, $14,997. He's been lowering the price over time. Nobody's taken off with it. He's got it down to $11,997. I'm going to update this one in here to the 11. Taxes, $600 a year. Okay, so I pulled this up in a couple different ways. I want to pull it up and see if I can do some Google Earth stuff. Look at it. This is, we're just going to fly into the property. So there we are. This is the property. If we take a look at this thing, like what's going on with the topography here, from like the neighbor's house to neighbor's house, you're going to see a dip in there. So neighbor's house over here, 1,800 feet. Neighbor house on the other side, 2,010 feet. That's 8 foot difference between the houses on either side. And in between those, it goes down 2001. So 2000, it's 9 foot difference from like the bottom of this trough to the house next door, or the bottom of this trough to where the houses are next door. It's like 19 foot on one side, 9 foot on the other. We're not talking about that much. That's the kind of stuff you could fill in. You could engineer, you put a pipe underneath it to corral the water, and put the water down here and build the house over here, or put a berm across it and point it one way or the other. There is engineering that can be done to make this happen. I'm sure of it. So if you look at it from a couple different angles, There's the property. Just nice houses built all over the place. Let's just jump in and do some street view. See if this thing catches up with me. Look at that hill coming down. See, people are putting ditches along the sides of the road. They're corralling the water along these ways. And then it's coming out. Eventually it's flowing down into there. We want the water to go over there. There's sewer right in the front. Underground utilities. There's probably a pipe down here somewhere that sends it that way. So building in there and corralling the water down this chute to go under the road, where I'm sure there's already a pipe, and shoot out the other side. You can look at the size of the pipe that's going under the road. Like the road's already blocking this waterway up. So it's not like you're the only one taking up a natural course. Like you just do the same thing as the road. Just fill this in, put pipe, and just run it down the side because you want to build. You just run the pipe down the side and then back in like a 90-degree angle thing. Down. That kind of engineering, you see it done in lots of places. I think the right person could make this happen. So let's look at this price. Let me get out of this thing. So we were asking 11,000. What was it? 11,997, like 12,000 bucks. Okay, so I pulled up the neighbor house. Like this is us right here on Zillow. I pulled up the neighbor house. The neighbor house just sold. They sold for $435,000. $435,000. That was 7/22, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 3 months ago. 2 or 3 months ago, the house next door sold for $435,000. Yeah, it's built. Yeah, they've got a driveway. They've got, all the utilities hooked up and the fees paid and everything. But usually, normal rules of thumbs, a builder buys the land for, 20% of that. They're probably making money building the house and selling it. Probably make $100,000 if they bought the land for 80, 85, 90 grand and went and sold it, built the house and sold it for 435. The builder's probably taking $100,000 home in there. I don't know the numbers exactly. That's the builder's business to get down to the exact numbers, but it's something like that. And so when we're selling this property at $11,000, like $12,000, that's like saying there's 75 grand or something in there for engineering to make the property work. There's a lot of room for error is what I'm trying to say. Now so this is this little area here. These are the sold comps of like land. Okay, so here's land. So here's a 395. Come on. That's probably a house. They probably sold a house. That's not going to be real land for that much with the prices house is going for that. There's a 25. I still thought they'd be more than that. It's still a lot more than we're asking. So 25 for this lot. This one sold 11/16/20. So this is like a year ago. Prices have gone up since then. But down the street, a lot went for $24,000. Let's remove the boundaries. Let's zoom out a little bit more. See if we can find some other comps. Okay, so I got it sorted lowest to highest over here. These are other housing lots. So the lowest one is that $24,000 one. Here's a 27. Here's a 27.5. And as we go up, a lot of these probably don't even have the utilities. As we go up in price, get into the $50,000 ones, 70,000. They start looking more like they have utilities or they're bigger sizes out in the country somewhere. Couple $100,000 ones. So, but remember the price that this one, we've got 11,997. That's less than half of the cheapest lot that's sold in the area. I think somebody ought to take off with this thing. That's my point. Okay, so back to it. RealVacantLand.com. There's a phone number. There's contact information for the owner of this property. It's all for sale by owner on RealVacantLand.com. I'm not the owner of this one. It's a friend of mine. You have to call him, Stefan, and figure out the logistics of closing this thing. You probably take it to a local title shop. You could probably pick the title shop, or maybe it's easier to use the one he bought it through. They've already got the paperwork and just sell it to you, give you title insurance and stuff. And go build a house. Go make it happen. Get your kids in the local schools. Get out of Seattle, move to Spokane or wherever you're coming from, or move one side of the street to the other side of the street. Whatever the move is, this thing's sitting there. It's cheap. Or even if you're not moving there, just go re-engineer it, build a house. You could probably get some engineering reports for $1,500 or something and say, oh, this is how you do it. And then put it on the market for 25 grand or 50 grand or something. Still be the cheapest one. Let's go back to that. What's the cheapest one for sale? I was looking at sold. Cheapest for sale in the area. Oh, let me switch it back over. Okay. So Zillow, cheapest for sale. There's some 110s. Oh, there's a 75. Look at this guy. 75 grand. It's a lot smaller, I think, than the one we're talking about. Kind of looks like not the best, cleanest place to be. Some horrible pictures. Oh, there's your competition. I'm sure you can get better pictures than some old cars, broke down cars on an empty dirt lot. 75 grand, cheapest one in the area. 110, let's see what 110. Does it even have access? Oh man. Hopefully that's access. That's your competition. So 11,000, let's call it $12,000, and market's asking 110 for this ugly sucker. Like, take a look at it. See if this is your deal. You could probably polish that thing. I would get an engineering report and that says you can build here with this kind of fill and this kind of pipe and this kind of layout. And here's a foundation report of how to do, engineering and geotechnical for a foundation. That would quench all costs or all buyers' feasibility study kinds of questions in my mind. Not in reality, but in my mind, my point of view, that would solve all those questions. Get this thing sold for a whole bunch higher price. So take a look at it. Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. Links in the description. See if this is your property. Talk to you later. Bye.